I know it's still coffee and more, even though the location is different. I was like, this morning when I went to film, so what happened was, this morning when I went to film, my ring light USB was messed up, and I couldn't get it to plug into its little outlet. It looks like one of the dogs may have got to it, or I rolled it over with a computer chair, or something like that, and it was just, I wasn't handling it well this morning. My husband's gonna look at it, see if he can fix it. If not, just order a new ring light. They're like 30, 40 bucks. It's not a humongous deal, but it was frustrating this morning. And my office, notoriously worst lighting in the world. It's called the dungeon for a reason. So the ring light is like key clench in my office. So yeah, we are now in the foyer because it has the best lighting in my house. I have like a lot of natural light in my house, but when I'm filming at 6 and 7 in the morning, natural light don't do a whole lot for you. It's not bright. So there is that. And so yeah, a little location change, probably for a few videos, hopefully not too many. But what are we talking about this morning? Oathbringer. Oathbringer. If you see the title, I read all 1,233 pages of Oathbringer. That should be like a little clue to kind of how I felt about the book. This may not be my most popular video, guys. It really may not be, for a few reasons. But one moment, my side table is not next to me. I have to reach, so oh my goodness, this is gonna take a little bit of getting used to, but we're gonna do it. Got the beverage of the morning. Delicious. So, Oathbringer, 1,233 pages. Could it have been 600 pages? Probably, because about 600 or 700 pages of it were good. I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads for a few reasons. First, loved the beginning, like opening with a Dalinar Navini wedding. Mwah, chef's kiss. But I had some issues, man. Also, the ending was definitely an incredible ending. Dalinar, you know, turning Odium down, telling him I'll keep my pain, Syl telling Kaladin, somebody else is gonna have to save you this time. The like end game Avengers-esque way that they defeated those Voidbringers, like, it was so good. The ending was phenomenal. The beginning was really good. Solid 4 stars. But as I said, there was about 600 pages in the center that I could have lived without. And if you are a Brandon Sanderson stan and you think the man can do no wrong, I am sorry. I know you've been loving my other videos on him. This one's just not it. I think coming off of the high of Words of Radiance, coming into this book was like a slap in the face. It was like, now hold on, because Words of Radiance, not one time. It was only like 10 or 15 pages shorter than this book, I think. Not one time did I think while reading Words of Radiance, wow, this book is long, or wow, this book is wordy. Not a single time. I thought that many times during Oathbringer. Okay, so some things that I did like about the book, like I said, the beginning and the ending were both very well done, very well done. I gave it a 4 star for that reason. Biggest complaints about Oathbringer. The length did not need to be that long. It just didn't. Like, it's okay to not write a 1,200 page book. It is. It's okay if you can say everything that needs to be said in 700 pages. That's okay. So it did not need to be that long. Yasna. Okay. We got Yasna and Shallan reunion. But where was the Yasna and Navini reunion? It wasn't there. I kept going back in the book, and because there's a scene where Dalinar is talking to the Stormfather, and he just makes comment that both Yasna and Navini are there. And I'm like, she's back with her mother, so I start flipping back through the book. I must have gone back and looked for it 3 different times. It wasn't there. There was not one single mention of a scene where Yasna shows up and she's just like, "Hi Mom, I'm not dead. Remember all that devastation you went through? It was for naught. I'm alive." Nothing. And that was frustrating. And Yasna really irritated me in this book a little bit. I thought she was treating Shallan a little bit like a child, a little bit like she didn't, like, you've been gone, lady, for an entire book. I held this shit down. And now you're coming back and you're telling me to scribe? Like, that was, as a Shallan girly, that would have pissed me off. Really, really bad. I also felt that the Shallan Kaladin stuff was a little forced in this book. I understand people who ship them now. Before reading just the first 2 books, I was like, who in the world ships Kaladin and Shallan? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Now, it's this book. This book right here is what makes people ship them. And I don't think that it just isn't there for me. They have a friendship or brotherly, sisterly connection, but there's no romantic connection there for me at all. She belongs with Adolin. That is the connection that makes the most sense. And I'm glad that at the end of this book she does realize that. But man, there were some frustrating moments in this book. I liked the Dalinar stuff. I really liked the reveals that we get from Dalinar's past. I like the deal that he made in order to forget his former wife and why he needed to forget her, like the fact that he caused her death. I liked a lot of that stuff. It was not horrible. It wasn't. I gave it 4 stars for the good in it. There was just, I was probably a little lenient because I love these characters, because there was probably more than 1 star worth of not good. But you can't love everything, right? You have a 5-6 book series. You can't love every single book. I absolutely loved Way of Kings, Warbreaker, Words of Radiance, like, loved them. I gave Words of Radiance one of my first 10s on this channel. So, I can't love everything. So I'm still obviously going to read Dawn Shard and Rhythm of War. Those are coming up for probably the beginning of May. I'm taking a small break just because this book made me need to take a Sanderson break. Also, I had a bunch of books drop from the library that I want to get read. But mostly, this book made me need to take a little bit of a Sanderson break because I really struggled. It took me 4 days to read it, which is long for me for a book. And I legitimately just had to almost force myself through about 20% of it. From the time that they arrived in Elachar City, I can't think of the name of it, but their home city, the group Shallan, Aladin, Kaladin, that whole group arrived at the home city of the king. Why can I not remember the name of that city? That's going to annoy me. But from the time that they arrived there until they were trying to open up the Oath Gate, I really had to, like, force myself to continue to read. Probably even a little bit before that. But it's okay because the ending was great. Brought it all together. I still gave it a 4 stars. Out of 10, 7.5, which isn't horrible. That's not like an atrocious book that I'm upset that I read. it just definitely wasn't my favorite. And so hopefully y'all don't cancel me or hate me, because yeah, I'm just telling you honestly, it wasn't my favorite. But I will see you guys. So many things coming up. We've got another video on Saturday about my book talk books, only this is like my favorite book talk books. The book talk books that lived up to the hype. And then next week we're going to have a Florida vlog because I'm going this weekend. So I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. And I'll see you then.